My top three biggest spiritual, what's the word I'm looking for? Spiritual influences are Neville Goddard, Walter Lanyon, and Dick Gregory. So Dick Gregory though said something that was very catching for me. Like it's something that I held on to for a while. And I've held on to it so long that when I first heard it, I didn't quite understand it. And then afterwards, like that I progressed in my spiritual journey, it just started to make more and more sense, you know? And it was pretty much, I can't remember if it was like a story he was telling or like a theoretical, but it was along the lines of him being held at gunpoint. And he was saying like, if my God can't protect me from a punk like you, someone that has to use fear, use force to get his way over you in this physical reality. If my God can't protect me from a punk like you, I'll help you pull the trigger because I clearly have the wrong God. And that was one of those things, like I knew that was powerful words when I first heard it, but I didn't quite understand it yet. I was like, I get what you mean, but like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? And it was one of those things where as I've progressed through my journey, it started to make more sense because in my journey, I believe that God is in every single one of us. I believe we are all the temple of God. I believe that we are always walking on holy ground because God is in us, because God is us. We are just a small portion. It was a Neville Goddard phrase that it was like God and I are one, but God is greater than I. So once again, I don't know if he got that from the Bible, if that was just his words, but he's very Bible heavy. But that's pretty much what I've come to the conclusion of, you know? And the way that I think about this, right? If someone comes up to me who is also God, which would mean that like if I couldn't not say that I can control him, like I could just like telepathically tell him what I want, like just tell him to go away or whatever, but that would mean that God couldn't control himself. You see what I'm saying? There's free will, but then you know what I'm saying, if we're all God, in my belief we are all God, so I should be able to go into the God in me and just be like, hey, let's get this dude away from me. He kind of got a gun. I don't feel like dying just yet. Like, work this out real quick. And he might have an epiphany, or somebody might be walking by and scare him off. That's just how manifestation type of stuff happens. And one of the things that brought me to the conclusion that, of course, from the books I read, but like just when I sit with my own thoughts and I'm like, okay, what do I believe? I believe we are all creators. And I remember I was sitting just talking to myself. I consider it channeling. Like I just talk. And sometimes I teach myself from when I just talk about stuff. And one of the things that I was talking about, I can't remember if I said in another video or not, but it was like, if we walk and we step in some mud, we create a footprint. If we clap our hands, we create sound. If we sit up off the couch, we make it like we have a butt print. You know what I'm saying? Literally everything we do is creation. Even when we die, we create a new habitat for like fungi, bacteria, worms that specifically feed off decomposing organic matter. So even in our death, we are still creating. And that's when everything kind of comes full circle, where I believe like the biblical stuff where it's like we're created in the likeness and the image of God, something like that. Once again, y'all know I suck at quoting the Bible, but you get the gist of it. So if God is the big creator, once again, you fill in the blank with whatever you want. But if God is the creator and created everything and created us to be just like him, wouldn't we have a little bit of that? So the God that created this couldn't protect me from me, because once again, we're all one. A lot of religions believe that when we die, we go to heaven, we go back to the Father, we return to Allah. We wake up from Shiva's dream. But regardless, we're all part of some bigger thing, and that's just a few religions. Once again, fill in the blank with whatever you want. So that just makes me think, and that's the type of essence, the energy I walk around with. I'm always protected. That's like the big takeaway from everything I just said. I feel protected because I have the creator of everything in me, but it's awake, it's alive in me. Other people, everyone has it. That's just my personal belief. Everyone has it. So when I say I am a God, I don't mean it by any disrespect or I'm trying to like puff my chest out. I'm just saying like I am a God. I'm not God. I am a God. Just walking around here to be a creator. From all the examples I said, someone created this necklace. Someone created this hoodie. Everything starts off in the imagination. Everything starts off in the brain, in the mind, whatever words you want to use. Everything starts off as just a thought. Even if you just say, okay, I'm going to draw a flower. You literally created something that came from your mind, went onto a piece of paper and said, I drew a flower. I created. Some people will say, that's not creation. What is it then? You know what I mean? And that's just a small level of the stuff that we are able to do. But once you start to understand your small level of creation, you can just instantly create whatever you want. That's what we're supposed to do on this planet. But a lot of us have been hijacked, because there are there's kind of mixing different philosophies here. It's like there are beings here that are here to keep us down. But that, some people learn to hate these people. Oh, you're keeping the world enslaved, blah, blah, blah. But as I've stated in another video about duality, it's like I believe that they needed to be here to give us the challenge that we had to overcome. Some of you are just very complacent and you just sit there and just stay controlled. And there's some people that are just starting to wake up. They're just like, wait a minute, I can do more than just this. That doesn't make, you know what, I'm gonna go do something different, And that's what I did. That's what a lot of people are doing. You start to think for yourself. You start to break away from the pack and start to get in touch with yourself. Now, everyone that goes and talks to themselves and goes and digs deep, they're going to come up with a different answer. Once again, some people might go to Buddha. Some people might go to Allah. Some people might go to X, Y, Z, and the third. There's a million different gods out here, and half of them are the same thing. But they're just said in a different language, therefore we can't agree on it. But who cares? If you are walking around and you're treating people with love and respect, the same respect that you would wish to receive from everyone else, this world will be perfect. But we need that dark side. We do. It sucks for the people that are stuck and can't wake up. But that's your job. That's my job. Once you wake up and you start to get in tune, you start to watch random videos like this, once you start looking around in the crystals, you start looking at tarot cards, you start looking for answers, but you don't even know the question yet. That's something I got from Walter Lanyon. The answer existed before the question. So when you say, is God real? The answer existed before you even asked that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this, right? You are on an island, and let's just call it a game show. You're like on Survivor, but you're the only one there. And the objective is to go and find a key to the boat that will take you off the island and you win the game show, right? But just imagine, because I don't know how you wouldn't notice this, but just roll with the hypothetical. What if there was a key on your back? The host pats you on the back, kind of like one of those kick me signs, kick me, like the little jokes from cartoons and stuff. But what if he just stuck a key to your back and he just sent you off on your way? So you're scavenging, you're climbing trees, climbing mountains, digging in the dirt, looking for this key. But the entire time, it's been on you the entire time. Pretty much like a cliche story. You were the answer this entire time. Sorry to break it to you, that's what life is. You were the answer this entire time. You're looking for all the answers out there. You're going without to look for answers, but everything comes from within. And that's what I believe the God in me is. How do I get out of this dangerous situation? Bringing it full circle. There's a gun to my head. How do I get out of this situation? You go within. You don't go without. Because then your body might move. You might get some John Wick reflexes, some Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan reflexes out of nowhere that you couldn't do, that you couldn't explain on your own. Or, like I said before, someone comes by and then it's like, oh man, I don't want to shoot this person in front of witnesses. But you see what I'm getting at, right? It's just one of those things that's my conclusion, and you have to come up with yours. But as long as we all learn to just respect one another and see what we've learned from this iteration of what you went out and found, then the world will just be a better place, Once again, I'm not here to say I have the right God. My God's better than your God. No, my God's the same God as yours. My one God is the same as all 27 of your gods. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, something created that God. Something created that and that. That's just my belief. But anyway, I don't think there's a right God or wrong God. I think there's nothing but the right God. As long as you believe it and it gives you a sense of internal power, you're good. So I know I got a little rambly. I always do. I start having fun halfway through that. But hopefully this helped. If you have any thoughts, let me know. and I'm always open to a conversation. Till next time.